Peace. What a guan, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, Cash App. You know what it is. Just let me go ahead and get into this whole Fredrick Scott situation. This is, first of all, let me just read this news story from a Riverfront Times, and I'm going to leave the link in the description. It says Fredrick D. Scott, con man in bow tie, sentenced to 5 years for stealing 1.3 million by Ray Downs. And it goes, Fredrick Douglass Scott, the man who walked into East St. Louis with nothing but bow tie and BS, but managed to get the development rights to the beleaguered city's waterfront, was sentenced to 5 years in prison for fraud earlier this month. He could have received up to 2 decades. In addition to 5 years, Scott, 29, will have 3 years of suspended release and have to pay back the 1.3 million he stole from his victims. The sentencing judge also recommends that Scott undergoes mental health treatment while incarcerated. The Riverfront Times published a story of Scott's strange tale in March, shortly after he pled guilty to wire fraud conspiracy to steal more than 1 million from duped investors. His scam involved an elaborate show of wealth, with the show being the key word here, and targeting fellow African Americans in an example of affinity fraud similar to the infamous Bernie Madoff scheme, albeit on a much smaller scale. Scott hired a public relations firm to build up his image, and he even somehow got himself a write-up in Ebony magazine, which claimed he was the U.S.'s youngest African American hedge fund investor and handled assets of more than $1 billion. None of this was true, but it was good. It was a good enough story to get him meetings with the top political brass in East St. Louis and eventually get the waterfront rights. After he failed to secure investments in East St. Louis, Scott went to New York City and used the same show of tactics he used here. But instead of city governments, he targeted business owners looking to secure $1 million loans. The con went something like this. He promised a businessman he could obtain a $5 million loan for a flat fee of only $250,000. And of course, they play a video of, I guess he was unrolling. I'm not pressing the video, but I guess he did say that he was unrolling, so I guess this was the video of it. Some fell for it, gave Scott the money, and never saw a dime of any loan. Others smelled a rat and called the feds. Eventually, Scott was arrested in September 2013. He declined his right to a trial and admitted his guilt in federal court in Brooklyn. And according to the New York Post, Judge Rosalind Masukoff did not mince words with Scott during the sentencing. You are continuing your con in front of me, she deadpanned. You were and are an unmitigated con man. Maskoff said she wasn't moved by Scott's silver-tongued soliloquy that blamed everything from his impoverished childhood to the inherent greed of all humanity for his actions. You use your charisma, lies, and fast talk to cheat your victims, she said. The judge might not have been moved, but many others were. And it says River of Schemes, Fredrick Scott claim. I guess this is another link to the story. Yeah. So that's the story of this guy, Fredrick Scott, the guy we were on the live with, on the Smoke Guys live with. And my thing is this, to people, to Queen Ra, who keeps running this live stream after live stream, going after him. We all knew this shit about this dude. All right, anyone who is following the Jay Morrison saga, this dude's name popped up. So everybody knew this shit about this dude. So it's not like you're dropping any sort of new information. And you're trying to send him to jail. Why? How are you gonna send dude to jail? Dude already went to jail. Now, this story, it, it is eerily similar to the Ephraim Taylor story, man. Eerily similar. And unfortunately, the thing with guys like this, you know, it's a lot of times it's hard for them to change. Case in point, just the fact that the stream was deleted, that's not a good look. Man, that's not good. That's not good that you ask Smoke God to delete the stream. All right, you said what you said. Just leave it up there. Really, a lot of that is from the lack of discipline that a lot of you dudes have on this social media. This is why you gotta temper your enthusiasm when you're on this bitch, because if you just go by emotion, as Queen Rise is demonstrating, you just gonna go out there and start saying and doing some reckless shit. All right. I mean, right? I wanted to flame, absolutely flame Claudia with a whole, and it may still happen, depending on what this bitch does, because this, she's, I ran into her on Max's live last night. See, this is what I guess is good about these lives, is that if you got something to say, just have the guts and run up to dude and say what you got to fucking say. Okay, because I just got tired with her with the lying, the slander. Every time you go after the bitch, she brings up Lenin or anti-Afro Bengali when the shit has nothing to do with it. And I get it. Antonio is gonna give you that work, and he's gonna talk at you. Then just go back at him. Right? When I'm on their lives, I don't care if like 10 or 12 of them come after me. I just stand in my square and say what I gotta say. All right. When I went up, to Shakim's live and I confronted Durrell because I just got tired of his bullshit. I just went up to him and said what he had to say, and of course he just decided to lie like he always fucking does. But that's what I guess these lives are for. You just air your shit out and you just keep it moving. So I was gonna just do a whole hour, and it may still happen. All right, because she's supposed to get to send me pictures of her infamous visit to the FDMG. And if she does send pictures, which I think the pictures are going to be bullshit, then she's got to explain why, what type of mental state you got to be in to fly from California to Philly and then drive down to Delaware to sit in the middle of the hood to eat. Okay, then she mentions yesterday about, some hip hop. Oh, she's crazy. This is, again, my conclusion with her is that she's a repugnant, lying, lying bitch who may have mental illness, and nothing that happened yesterday or interaction yesterday really didn't sway my opinion. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see what if she even sends pictures. I'm not gonna hold my breath. But back to this dude, Fredrick Scott. I knew about this shit. So it's not like you're breaking news here with anything. Now, dude did what he did, right? He sounds, like I said, eerily like most every other of these shows, like Ephraim Taylor, like Jay Morrison, okay? Like Umar. He sounds like every charlatan. However, this dude did go to jail for 5 years, all right? He went to jail for 5 years, and for him to come into this sector, okay? Now that he's out of jail, he's got to watch his P's and Q's. You got to watch your P's and Q's, because bottom line, you slip up. No one, there's going to be no chill on you. See, what people don't understand, a guy like this, there've been many charlatans who've come out of Wall Street or who've done stuff like this, who, after they get out, they get hired due to their talents. All right, Michael Milken is one in case in point. Dude, was a fraudster on Wall Street himself, and he went to jail for did some time. Now, dude came out, he's a billionaire. Usually this just happens with white guys, but whatever. He's a billionaire. But listen, we'll see. Did Fredrick Scott change his ways, or is he just you know, once a comment, always a comment. But pulling down that video after after you went at Ross, see, that's not a good look, because now you just gave those motherfuckers fuel. You just gave them fuel. Okay, leave the shit up there. What did you do that was wrong? Now, again, y'all gotta discipline yourself, and when you start showing money and posting how much you make, then an eyebrow is raised, because you've seen it with these other dudes. You've seen it with freaking Claudia, all right, telling us she's got a 130 IQ and lives in this big house and all this other bullshit. Yes, she rips down her videos every chance she gets. You already know about Queen Ra. I mean, if you believe this dude is $100,000 man, or that he's this big, matter of fact, you expose yourself again, my nigga, because you said on the video responding to Max, because obviously anything triggers you, all right, that now you run this sector. So really, this was all about doing this just to run a bullshit sector. That's the only reason you're doing this stupid shit. You just doing everything. You want to be the new Jala, the new Flacco. So this ain't even sincere on your part. You just went there to get some energy, pulled them over to your live, sat there for 9 hours, banging on dude, and you're still using Lennon's name. So it's just nothing is insincere. This is why with this video, I'm not even gonna put your name in the title. All right, because this is what you want. This is why I got on that live and I went down. I didn't want to give you any sort of traction whatsoever. I didn't want to give you any sort of content like that. But yeah, back to Fredrick Scott. He did what he did, went to jail. Now he's out. Now he's got to be on his P's and Q's. And if he slips up, then there's going to be people there to flame him. All right? He said he doesn't like his intelligence insulted. Well, listen, if you're on the up and up, don't insult ours. All right? And so that's basically it, man. I'll just leave the link in the title. Like, share, subscribe, peace, and big up on yourself.